Okay. After my business proposal video, I was asked about my thoughts about The Glory, which at the time I hadn't watched yet. So I spent the last week, or however amount of time it's been, watching The Glory, and the title is a bit hyperbolic. The majority of my misery has nothing to do with this show, but man, this show is just it was exhausting. It wasn't fun to watch. It wasn't, I wouldn't even call it enjoyable. It was actually very awful. Heads up, I'm not really going to be spoiling a whole lot of the show, but I will be talking about where the characters end up by the finale. So if you haven't finished and don't want that told, then I would probably just skip the video. But I don't talk about that till the end, so you could still listen to the rest. Really quick plot summary: Moon Dong-eun is viciously bullied by these kids in high school. It's really bad. They regularly beat her up, like full on punching, kicking in the stomach shenanigans. They regularly burn her with a flat iron, so she has burnt scars from those burns all up both her arms and her legs. They take her money. They have her stand in the rain so they can look at her chest. Stuff like that. It's really bad. It's really bad. They had done it to another girl before her, and they do it to a girl after her who I think they were friends. The girl after her, Gyeongran, I think the show was trying to tell me that they were friends until she started getting bullied. Donggun's mom is also a piece of garbage. And when Donggun was trying to transfer schools because of the bullying, the main girl, the Azula of the group, Yeonjin, her mom, she gets Donggun's mom to sign something saying the reason for the transfer was maladjustment, and then she pays her some money for that, and then Donggun's mom disappears. And then Donggun spends the rest of her time, well, like 18 years, working up this plan to get revenge on all of them. So that's the plot. It's her going through her revenge scheme. And, like, I'm not entirely sure what the director wanted us to think watching the whole thing. They go back and forth between showing us the kind of bullying that she dealt with and narrations that she does, or it's like these letters to Yeonjun, essentially like journal entry kind of style narration. And there are a couple times where she says, "Oh, there's not gonna be any glory in what I'm doing, and I'm not a good person." But then there's other times where she's like, "I feel real good because my plans are coming together." It's almost as if the show I guess we're supposed to root for her, but I don't know. It gets kind of hard to root for a person who like has opportunities to like change the course of what she's doing and then chooses not to because, well, I've already come this far, basically. The relationship with the doctor, I don't remember his name. Jaejun? Her relationship with the doctor, it doesn't make sense to me. I get that he likes her. If their whole relationship thing kind of felt forced and unnecessary for the story, really. Like, he didn't have to like her. The doctor, he kind of gave me the same energy as Misa from Death Note of like, I'm so in love with this person that I will do all these vile things or I'll support them in these things they're doing that are definitely illegal because I like them. It was like kind of pathetic to watch sometimes. The show is miserable. The acting was good. The pacing was fine, I guess. The cinematography was fine. Like, as a show, it's well done. But as far as entertainment, it's not. Like, I guess if you enjoy seeing awful people have awful things happen to them, then I guess you'll like it. But otherwise, it's just like, it's real depressing. Not everything Donggun did was illegal, and in the end, it was pretty much very much legal or them taking each other out that ended up leading to like everyone's downfall. So I guess at the end of the day, you could argue, I mean, she didn't do anything wrong. But in the show acknowledges a couple times, it's like, what is she going to do after all this? Is she even going to be happy? And it's like, yeah, I hope so. I hope I can, feel good enough that I feel like I could die. But okay, now we're getting to serious spoilers for the finale. She was fully ready to kill herself after doing everything. But doctor's mom comes and stops her because basically his life would fall apart. And so that's the reason she doesn't. But it's not like it's him. It's the fact that he needs to get revenge on the guy who killed his dad. So that's now what's continuing them on. Like the show try to act like they also love each other, and then I guess like they have each other, blah blah blah. But considering how the main reason she gets off the ledge is, oh, doctor is obsessed with the man who killed his dad, and they're working together to get revenge on him. It's just like they're gonna survive off spite and hatred for the rest of their days. And what's gonna happen when they get revenge on the guy who killed his dad? What are they gonna do then? I guess we're supposed to believe they're just gonna have a loving relationship or whatever, but she's already knocking 40, and this is all she's lived. It's not impossible, I guess, for them to move on and live like a normal life, but it just still feels very heavy. And really, it's possible things could come back to bite them, and there wouldn't be any reason for it to not. Like, Hyejung's still out there, and it would be mutually assured destruction if she did anything, but she still could. There's talks of a second season, which I hope doesn't happen, because what would even be the point? What would happen? Are we seeing the revenge on the other guy, or Yesol grows up and has questions and wants to talk to Doyoung? Like, really, I don't think there's anything that any sequel would have enough material that anyone would care about. The whole show is very odd if you consider the allegations that were set against the director, An Gil-ho, I believe is his name, and how he like punched a classmate, for supposedly bullying his girlfriend, but the supposed girlfriend allegedly came out saying that they didn't bully me, it was normal friend teasing, and he got worked up apparently. And so, which is not comparable to what happens on the show, but like if there's going to be allegations of school violence, and then he at first denied the accusations, but then a week later admitted to them, you can't really argue, oh, he matured and changed from that, and maybe now he's making this content, because maturing and changing would involve owning up to it. And I guess he did the second time, but since his initial reaction was to deny it, it's a bit questionable. And then also for him to have done that, and then this is the show. Like, what are we supposed to think? Watching the show doesn't really make, at least in my opinion, really make you think, oh, we really gotta do something about this bullying issue. It's like that. It's clearly a thought, but the show doesn't focus on that at all in any way. So it's more like just the watcher has to have that kind of conscience and have that kind of idea anyway. The show really doesn't care too much about that. The show doesn't really care that it's a big issue. It doesn't talk about it, really. I know the Korean audience typically would probably already get that, and probably wouldn't need that to be very obvious in the show, but it kind of makes the director and the writer, whoever, their intentions a little vague. Now, you might be wondering if I have a major issue with anything in the writing like I did with Business Proposal, and I actually do. And it's how Doyoung kills Jaejun, because he had no justifiable reason to do that. Like, Jaejun being killed, I mean, the dude was the worst, so I guess things happen. But Doyoung being the one to do it is annoying and stupid. I dislike it for two reasons. One, yeah, he has no justifiable reason to do that. Because, yeah, obviously he doesn't want this dude near his legal daughter, who, he's raised as his own all her life. But, I mean, he is still Yesol's father, and that had nothing to do with you. So I get being mad that your child's not actually your child, but killing her actual father for what? Because the actual father wants to be in her life. Yeah, he was trying to finagle ways to get full custody, which sucks, but that in no way, I think, justifies killing him. That was unnecessary. And then also now, Yesol still has a murderer for a parent who's taking care of her. So it's like, it's not likely to come back to Doyoung. It's probably never going to impact him. But if there's a whole concern about, oh, Yesel being raised by a murderer, gotta get her away from her mother, gotta get her away from Jaejun even, then congratulations, she still is. So why? I mean, he could have just fallen, or it could have been Jaejun. He could have just fallen because he was likely to fall from where he was anyway. That's what I thought was going to happen. I don't see why it was necessary for Doyoung to do it. But overall, the show, I wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't recommend it generally. I guess again, like, it is well done as far as like production of show goes, but it's just like it's miserable. I don't even, there's no, like, at least for me, I don't even feel like satisfied with the answer. Like, wow, they really got rid of those people, and like, it's not like at the end of I See You. It doesn't feel like that feeling was. It doesn't feel like, yes, we've done something. It's done, and now we can move on. It doesn't feel like that. It just feels sad. So those are my thoughts. It's fortunate that Dongun hasn't ended up in prison, but it's very likely that whatever's trying to happen with her doctor and the guy who killed Doctor's dad, I forget Doctor's name, I really do. It's like Yejung, Yunjung, something like that. It's Yejung. His name is Yejung. It's possible they can end up doing something that can end up getting them in prison. And now she's bringing in the ex-maid again. And I'm kind of annoyed by that too. Because she was all, oh, I hope we never see each other again. I want you to go live your life. Blah, blah, blah. And so her asking for her help, I feel like is selfish. It's selfish and rude. Because as far as she knows, she was living her best life, having a good time. And now she's trying to drag her back into this. And I know the show doesn't show that. Like, she seems happy to do it. But, I mean, why can't she just go to the States with her daughter? Why does she have to get dragged back into this, doing things that would be crimes? So I don't get that. I don't know why they chose to do that. And that's all I have to say. So those are my thoughts on The Glory. And that's all from me for now. Thanks for watching.